Hi, I'm Ron Drodos from keyboardimprov.com, and today this is a real treat for me, and I hope for you too, because we're looking at Duke Ellington's tune "Come Sunday." Going through the real book tune by tune. I have the 6th edition in the key of C, and I've numbered all of them. So I go all the way through 400. This will take about 4 years to get through all of them. Is that right? 4 years? No, 8 years. 8 years to get through all of them if I do one a week. It's a long-term project for myself and hopefully to inspire you to do something similar or just pick and choose which ones you want to check out, get some tips or see how I play the tunes. Come Sunday is by Duke Ellington, and it's a very special song. He wrote it as part of his multi-movement semi-orchestral suite for his big band called Black, Brown, and Beige, which was premiered at Carnegie Hall. There's a great recording of the full version. And then he never played it really in full again after that. He got sort of an unfair bad rap about it from the critics. It's actually fairly well structured, even compared to classical music. If you look at some of the jazz classical crossover pieces by Darius Milhaud or Stravinsky's Ragtime, it was new territory. And so it was unfair to compare this long-scale work, his first real long-scale work, to Beethoven sonatas or Mozart symphonies, where they were very tightly constructed in a certain way. Duke Ellington was really inventing a new way of doing this, and I think he got discouraged. I know he got discouraged. He did suites later, but they were often smaller sections or even independent pieces that were just sort of strung together. Great stuff. Not quite like Black, Brown, and Beige, which was more of a large-scale piece. 3 movements, but they're longer, each of them. He was really innovative and inventing new ways of bringing back motifs and layering them together, and also telling the story. He was telling the story of people's lives and their trials and tribulations and their celebrations and their joys throughout history. And it's significant. Check it out. There's been a couple recordings since by other people. And Duke Ellington revisited Black, Brown, and Beige for a shortened version, I believe in the 50s, and Mahalia Jackson, gospel singer, sang Come Sunday. Originally, though, it was played by Johnny Hodges on saxophone, alto sax, and he really sang it through a sax really beautifully with just the trombone kind of choral accompaniment behind it. It's just gorgeous. It's about going to church on Sunday morning. Come Sunday, it's a church hymn. And for me, that gives me sort of this kaleidoscope of inspiration to tap into. I can think of it as a hymn. Right? We can think of it like that. We can think of it in terms of sort of Ellingtonia and bring in some of Duke Ellington's ways of playing. He liked doing these things. You could do... Right? It's a 10th. F and A up there over the E flat chord. Very Ellington-like. He could tap in some of those things. He also liked doing things like this. Billy Strayhorn, there's little fluttery things. And you can bring anything else you like. You can play a bebop line as long as it works. To me, I wouldn't start out with that. I would start out with more of the hymn thing and then bring that in later. But whatever your fancy is, try it on a tune like this. Let's see where this goes. In that context, we have hymns, we have Ellingtonia, and we have anything else we know that we can bring to a song like this. So here we go. This is a really special tune. That was interesting. I went some places that I didn't expect. A couple of things. I found, Duke Ellington did use some what we would consider 20th century classical techniques, more dissonant things. He might not have seen them necessarily in that same way that I might see them. Maybe he was extending the jazz vocabulary in his own view, however you want to look at it. But he would use these dissonances or these upper partials. If you want to check him out doing that, listen to his version of Summertime, or another one called The Clothed Woman. Just out there stuff, great. So I brought a little bit of that in. I was also kind of thinking of church bells that have that sort of those dissonant overtones. I don't think of them as dissonant as much as very colorful and rich, but certainly notes that are not in the regular part of the chord. Just a beautiful tune. So hopefully that inspires you to work on it yourself and take it to different places. Thanks for being here. Good luck with your playing. If you want some help learning jazz piano or taking it up to a new level, check me out at keyboardimprov.com. I'll help you in any way I can. And number 66 comes Sunday. Next time we'll take a look at a very interesting and completely different tune by Steve Swallow, Como in Vietnam, some Latin music. Take care.